up? How are you? How you doing? How was your Sunday, eh? You know, easy like Sunday wanasemanga morning, but this is evening. I hope you're enjoying yourself. It's another episode of Coffee with Mbuvi, right here on TV47. My name is Mbuvi. Na leo ule guest nimewaletea is a surprise. It's not what you expect. He's a gentleman, he's tall. By the way, ni Mkamba. Wanasemanga, huyu jamaa lazima niambie kama Wakamba kwangi warefu. Ni mrefu, mweupe. You know, and he's won so many hats. One of them including the fact that we were more or less almost in the same university, because I was in Moi University and Maseno was part of Moi. And then he's vied for presidency. Then sijui he's done what? Then sijui alikuwa anafanya nini huko kwa bomb. I have no idea. Atatuambia leo. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Ben Mulwa. Karibu men, gota. Ubo?
Ni museo.
Yes, ndio kamba. Ingekuwa kahawa na Mbuvi dawi.
Kahawa na Mbuvi.
But thank you for the yellow.
Yeah, cheers. Absolutely. Lazima tuwakilishe Wakambare. Sasa tuambie who is Ben Mulwa, because ukiniambia niseme ni nani nitasema either ni Benson, Benedict, Bendetta, Benali. Who's Ben Mulwa? Ben Mulwa. Ben is a short form of Bernard.
Oh, great.
And not Bernard. I'm
Bernard.
Very specific.
So there's no R between.
No, there's no R. It is Bernard. And sometimes it's difficult even for myself to define me.
Yes.
Because I have been around for quite some time. And it's been an exciting journey. That has been my life.
Yes. I
was born and raised in a village called Kaliene.
Kaliene, where is that?
Kaliene iko Kemundu location.
What are the location, sub-location, village, chief?
And Kemundu is actually really deep in my heart because that is what made me who I am today. Yes. I grew up there, went to primary school there, then went to high school, Kemundu Secondary School. If my fans, especially on Facebook, know very well about Kemundu. And one day I'll tell a tale about Kemundu. From there I went to Maseno University, tukapambana na hesabu huko.
Before Maseno, high school umesema ulikuwa wapi?
Kemundu Secondary School.
Ukambani bado? Ukambani bado. Mbona anga kaakisanta kakamba sikasiki? Kwani ulipitia wapi wakakashapen vizuri?
Nilipolish hapo tu inside Kemundu Forest. You know there is a forest.
Okay.
Na shule ilikuwa kule ndani kwa hiyo forest. So I was a day scholar from Form 1 up to Form 3. And the most memorable thing I always remember, kuna time story ilitokea ya kwamba there is a lion that had broken out of from all the way from Amboseli.
How far is Amboseli from like
It is far, but you know those animals can do. Actually, I was reading even a lion like in the Mara. There is one king in Mara who covers one lion, male lion, covering 400 square kilometers. So those characters move.
Where?
400 square kilometers.
That's not a joke. That's like from here to Mombasa.
Yes, like something like that. And that is in the Mara. Yes. And that is his dominion. So story katokea kwamba kuna simbare.
Simbare amepenyare apare.
Man, you are a day scholar. And you have to walk through that Kemundu forest to get school.
What class were you in there?
No, I was in Form 2 that time.
Yeah,
I was in Form 2. Bro, sijai shikwa na baridi hivyo in my life. Ukitembea kwa hiyo forest alafu unaona tu, and then you know there used to be baboons and some of them were huge.
What have you gone through? Baboons? Lions?
It was like a week. But I think it is the longest time I have ever experienced in my life. Ukitembea. Kwanza siku moja nilikuwa nakamua ng'ombe home. Jioni ikifika jioni mimi ndio nilikuwa nakamua. I'm very good at that.
And that's very early in the morning, of course.
No, ilikuwa jioni that time. So I was with my younger bro. Unajua inakamuliwa asubuhi na jioni pia. So around saa 2 hivi. Then from nowhere, unajua tumeenda na kale lantern chamule.
Chamule.
Tukaenda na hiyo lantern. Sijui lakini si koroboi. Si koroboi. Kuna ile ingine ya mabati, kuna ile ingine ilikuwa na glass. Yes, na mafuta taa. So tumeenda na hiyo light. So tulikuwa tumeambiwa hiyo light pale utaiweka ukae mbali nayo ndio distraction ya simba. So nimeanza kukamua tu ng'ombe. Sasa hiyo unasikia tu unatetemeka. Then one of the cows ikatoa ile sauti ya ng'ombe ikiona mnyama.
Okay.
I was with my younger bro, but bro nili freeze. Yeah. I never knew he was so fast.
He's involved kando.
Na ni usiku kwa giza black. Nisikia tu sha. Nikasikia mlango ya nyumba imefungwa pa. Nikajua ushafika kwa.
Alikusacrifice wewe. Ingekuwa wewe unaisha.
Bro, yani ile kutetemeka ilikuwa hapo. Unajua ng'ombe ikitoa sound, nile seriously when it's an indicator of danger. So
yes.
Up to now we have never established really whether that lion was there or not. But ukitembea especially kwa hiyo forest tulikuwa tunaona hiyo footprints. Ukiangalia unaona hii si baboon na hii si dogi. Ni simba a paw this size. So so those are the exciting experiences that made. The other most exciting thing was actually tulikuwa tunatoka Chemundu na unajua ni mbali na shule iko top kwa forest kwa mlima. Alafu when I became a boarder, that is late form 3 and early form 4.
Yes.
Ati imagine tulikuwa tunatoka hiyo shule. Tunatembea distance ya like 14 kilometers. Ati kwenda tu kuiba maembe.
Yeah, maembe
tu. Hiyo season ya January February.
Vijana na adventure.
Yeah. Kwanza head teacher wetu unajua alikuwa anatoka Mbooni. So ikifika hiyo time tunajua hiyo weekend yuko area. So saa tu tunatoka na manguo. Tulikuwa tunaenda kuoshia nguo mtoni. Hatukuwa na pipe. Sisi hatukwenda ma group of schools.
No group of schools. Na kuoga ni once
maji sasa unachota mob. Kwa hivyo una store maji na basin chini ya kitanda yako. Wow. So weekend ikifika ndio tunaenda mtoni kufua nguo huko alafu unachota maji mob. So sisi tulikuwa tunaenda hivyo unatoka mapema like 9 ama 10. Then tuna sneak sasa. Tunaenda tunakula maembe, tukirudi tunapitia mahali panaitwa Kivelesiani.
Sasa Kivelesiani kuna nini?
Huko ilikuwa tu ni chai. Na hiyo it was like a distance of about 7 kilometers from school. Imagine we used to leave school, tunaenda tu huko kukunywa chai tu.
Yes.
Na chapo.
Yes.
Alafu tunarudi shule.
Kwani kitu mlikuwa mnatoa wapi?
Hapana si madhe unajua sometimes anakupatia kambao. Unajua chai ni 5 bob.
Yes.
Chai ilikuwa 5 bob.
Yes.
Chapo ni 5 bob.
So
ulikuwa umepatiwa kale kanoti ka 20 bob. Uko juu.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, uko juu. Sasa unaenda unakunywa chai. Yani it used to be so refreshing. You have no idea.
You miss those days, eh?
I love those days.
Najua Oshago. Hope house iko hapa.
Yes.
Kwenda Lu lazima utoke.
Lazima uende nje.
So kwa hiyo story ya Simba na imagine sasa imefika midnight.
Yes.
Na uko na short call. What do you
bro, hapo ilikuwa ngatu inabidi yani ujikaze tu mpaka morning. Wezi step out. Kwanza ukikaa unasikia madogi zimeanza kubweka so unajua Simba amekuja hizo dogi. Yeah. It used to be scary but
they never established there was a lion.
We never really established.
Then now you went to Maseno.
Yes, I went to Maseno.
You made grades, went to Maseno. What were you studying in Maseno?
Mathematics and statistics.
Genius. Hesabu.
Mathematics. Masavu. Our primary school math teacher alikuwa anaitanga kadhavu.
Anakuita hivyo ama mko?
Alikuwa anaita hivyo. Yeah.
Kadhavu.
Kadhavu. Yeah. Na alitutandika, I think that's how I got my grip on mathematics. Alikuwa anatunyorosha sana. Tulikuanga branded bana. Ukienda tu kwa games, unaona alikuwa anatuchapanga hapa. Hapa kwa calf. Maybe ni memory. Alikuwa anatutandika hapa. So ukienda games, ulikuwa you could tell kids from Kalieni Primary School.
Yes.
Juu hapa hivi ilikuwa ni blinds tu za black. Bana tulikuwa tunatengenezwa. But I think it was worth it because it made us who we are.
So statistics Maseno.
Yeah, statistics Maseno sasa huko ndio life ilifunguka.
So life begins
But the most amazing thing is, I finished high school when I was 17.
Hey, you were very young.
Yes, and because I got my ID much later just before I went to college.
Campus.
And that Thursday afternoon, it was in November, I can't remember, it was the 20-something, when I left Kemundu. My last paper was history, paper 2.
Yes.
Hiyo afternoon, there's something that kept ringing in my mind. We had been taught that by the former BOG chairman, mzee alikuwa anaitwa Nzunga. Alikuwa ametuambia, we can do all those things in school and be all things we want. But that day, when you complete your education,
Yes.
you will take the lonely road back to the village. I have never forgotten that. Hapo ndio reality ina hit. Sasa unakuangana maboys wako mmefanya vituko, mmefanya nini? Na by hizo vitu zote nikifanya mimi ndio nilikuanga school captain.
What?
I was the class prefect actually since I was the monitor since I was in nursery school. Then I was the class monitor from standard 1 to standard 6. Then when I went to standard 7, I was appointed the head boy in primary school while I was in standard 7.
And there's up to 8.
I was a good boy.
Na yako, when you are a good boy, yako si ile you know me, I was appointed because I was the noisiest. Ndio nyamaza.
Oh, ndio nyamaza.
Yako ilikuwa ile.
Yangu ilikuwa tu nile and I was the neatest. I always the cleanest in school.
Aku say, gosh.
No, serious. Na hiyo hata ukiangalia tuko sawa.
No. Hata leadership yako ilianza
ya naso by the way, ilianza naso. Sasa
why is the tallest? When you mkamba huko?
No, I sprang out I think when I became a teenager. From around age 13 to I sprang out kabisa. And I remember one day my aunties had visited na walikuwa naongea tu hapo. Wameketi tu kwa veranda hapo na mbuyu na madhe. So as I was walking, one of them commented, "Hey, na Ben amekuwa mrefu." And there is also another thing my auntie mentioned I've never forgotten.
Yes.
Wacha akuwe mrefu, wanaume wafupi si wazuri.
Why weren't we told this thing? We should have been told to
that auntie of mine is an engineer and now retired. So
me, I think I read too much of the Bible and misunderstood because sababu inasema occupy until I come.
Oh yes.
Smart guy kwa
yeah. But my journey has been very exciting, and I was telling you when I went to Maseno.
Yes.
I remember when we started the national conversation around constitution making. I was also in Maseno around that time. I think I was in second year, and siku hizo nilikuanga sasa nimeshikanisha rada ya kuachana na ushamba kiasi.
Yes.
So siku hizo nilikuanga ilikuwa inaitangwa blowout kwa nywele. Unajua blowout? Unaikaranga vizuri, unaweka chemical in Sasa kagel vizuri na shine. Sasa hiyo time Maseno akaanza kunitanga Yashpal guy.
Really?
I was Yashpal guy. Because you know sasa nywele inakaa ya muhindi hivi kiasi. And niko hapo na suti. I used to wear suits to class in college. Yeah, I'm serious. Suits na tie vizuri. Asubuhi ikifika Monday to Friday. Ikifika Saturday mimi niko shorts. I used to be only in shorts and t-shirts.
So when first years came,
yes.
Because me I remember when first year, first of all, it took a long time before lecturers came. So one day, as we were waiting for lecturers to start coming,
yes,
this guy comes in a suit,
yes,
amevaa tie, na
briefcase, yes.
The whole class kept quiet. Because the lecturer has come. So you guys didn't confuse you for a lecturer?
No, most of the times they used to. Yeah, and it was a very exciting journey. Actually, I think Maseno was a game changer for me.
Wow.
And in terms of really opening up my mind and interacting with the world, I have made permanent friends since then. It's over 20 years now.
Wow.
I have made permanent friends from all parts of this country.
So
I was heavily banking on these guys when I was seeking to run for president.
Right.
Because niko na network kila mahali, niko na marafiki kutoka Garissa, kutoka Moyale, kutoka Kakamega, kutoka every part of this country. And you see, Maseno was not very big that time. So we were like really family. Today, actually, we have maintained a very close relationship.
Neat connection.
Yeah. We almost know everybody and where everybody is. Even our alumni pages it's very refreshing, you know. We were like really family.
Right.
And it was a game changer for me. When I went there, I was telling you, I was appointed the chair of the Constitution Review. And I'm excited about what I did because it was an elaborate consultative process. Naturally, I think I am a peacemaker.
Yes.
You will never find me in chaos. Since I was a kid. You will never. No, kuna wengine marafians. Hujakutana nao.
Kutembea pili kuna mengi hata kutoka homeland.
So,
I want us to go there. I want us to go there and talk about even how that transcended into learning your leadership skills.
Yes.
But when we come back, we want to take a small break And you're a busy man, mbona ukiangalia simu sio nitakuacha upige kasimu kamoja. We'll be right back. This is Coffee with Mbuvi. Don't touch that dial.
Wajuao walisema kwamba jina jema hung'aa hata gizani.
Na vile wakasema bora ni bora iliyoboreshwa, na habari za TV47 zinazidi kuimarika kila kuchapo.
Tunasanzuka na kutamba ili kuhakikisha tunaweka bayana taarifa kemkem zenye usawa na mantiki.
Katika mida ya alasiri kabla ya jua kutua kutoka County 001 na kupeperushia shina la upeo.
Na inapo wadia saa 1 kamili,
nachukua usukani kukufahamisha.
Happy holidays.
We are back on Coffee with Mbuvi. My name is Mbuvi na leo tuko na Ben Mulwa na anapiga story tamu. Busiest man on earth. He is the only person I've allowed to use their phone while they are here on set. Soon we'll be telling you what he does because it's interesting. But before we get there,
Yes.
Mulwa,
Yes.
safari yako ya kuwa mwanasiasa.
Aha.
Ulianza statistics na ukakuwa mwanasiasa. You want to tell me you can actually pursue one thing in a college and then but the college opens inakufungulia.
Absolutely, yeah.
How would you
Now, when I was telling you when I left Kiamundu Secondary School, that was I was 17.
Yeah.
I left school that afternoon with one mission, to look for a job.
Right.
And I had my little savings. Na pia unajua madhe sometimes tulikuwa na ndizi kwa shamba.
Right.
So unajua ukiuza hizo ndizi sometimes like umeuza like so 2 ama so 3 madhe anakukajia 50 bob.
There's something I want you to clarify because
Yes.
so that guys can understand why you're looking for a job after high school.
Yes.
We had a
No,
whole
unajua mimi nilikuwa nimeambiwa soma vizuri upate kazi mzuri. So si nimemaliza shule.
Hata hujangojea results.
Hapana, results hata zetu unajua zilikuwa zinakujanga the following year in March.
Yes.
So they used to take almost 6 months.
Yes. And then going to campus again another
2 years.
Also,
Another 2 years. So when I left that school that afternoon, I was determined to come to Nairobi and look for a job. Na sikuwa najua popote Nairobi.
Yes.
At least nilikuwa nimepitianga Nairobi once in a while. But sikuwa najua popote. At least I knew my sister used to live in Umoja. So the following weekend, nikafika Sunday, nikaambia madhe, mimi naenda Nairobi kutafuta job.
Yes.
Job gani tena? Si upumzike at least mimi naenda Nairobi kutafuta job.
Nenda wewe nyenye, ndio Dhukoma.
Unajua that time hakukuanga na mathiri, so kutoka home kwetu mpaka Emali is like 17 kilometers. So unapaswa tu mguu. We are used to it actually. We never even used to think about it.
It was nothing.
Yeah, nikachukua kabag kangu nikajisunda na mimi nikachomoka. Mayanga bro akanisi off mpaka halfway akarudi. Mimi nikaenda nikapanda mat nikafika tao. Kafika tao that time my sis at least luckily alikuanga na landline kwa hao. There were no mobile phones. So I called, nikamwambia nimefika tao, akanieleza vile nitapanda gari za Umo. Nikaingia Umo.
Ukafika Umoja.
Kafika Umo, sasa unajua naanza kushikanisha rada, naangalia vile Nairobi kunaendanga, naangalia, nasikiza. Luckily, my brother-in-law also was completing his PhD from the US.
Okay.
So he had a computer in the house.
Smart.
And it was very fascinating for me. That's actually how I learned computers.
Wow.
And up to now I am one of the finest graphics designers. At least I've done work for you, bro.
Remember.
Yeah, I'm a graphics designer.
Yes.
And many people don't know. I'm a graphics designer.
Wow.
I can do posters, I can do billboards, I can do artworks proper with graphics is inborn. You have to have an eye for art.
Yeah. So art is inborn.
Yeah, art is in me. Art is in me. Yeah. So nikaingia Umo, nikakaa another about a week just kushikanisha rada nini. Nikaambia my sis on a Monday morning, mimi naenda tao kutafuta job. Wow. Naenda kutafuta job wapi? Mimi naenda tao natafuta job. Nikashukishwa na mat hapo hii stage ya mathri inaita bus station. Mat za Umozi na kuanga hapo.
Unaita taska kitambo.
Hapo. Nikashukishwa hapo. Nikaanza kutembea tu. I never knew where I was going. But much later I learned I was actually walking along Moi Avenue.
Unatembea tu.
Nilikuwa natembea tu nikiangalia, but my landmark was KICC. Nikiona KICC imeenda sana hivi, at least nilikuwa nimeipimanisha. Hesabu pia nilikuwa nimeijua na nilikuwa nimefanya geography. Geography. Kwa hivyo najua nikipiga kona hivi na nirudi hivi, nikifanya triangle Hypotenuse. Nikishikanisha hiyo hypotenuse.
3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to 5 squared.
Yeah. So naweza rudi place nilikuwa nimetoka. So along Mbuvi nikaona poster kwa kikingi ya stima. Anasema are you looking for a job? Then I was like, yes.
I'm looking for a job.
Are you ready to start now? Yes. Where are you located? Sonalax house basement. Yeah. Ting mimi huyo Sonalax iko wapi? Nikafika, nikaingia basement. That's how I met a friend of mine. Since then he's been a very close friend, Gary. He used to run DS Max promoters.
Okay. Yes.
Si nikaingia huko. Nikaulizwa maswali kidogo. Nikamwambia mimi niko tayari kuanza job saa hii. So akaniambia we need a copy of your ID. Nikamwambia mimi sina ID.
I'm not yet 18.
So itakuwaje? Nikauliza sasa what do I do? Because I want to start tomorrow. Wakaniambia do you have somebody who can guarantee you? Yes. Jioni nikaenda nikaongea na my sis nikamwambia by then nimepata job. Naanza kesho lakini I want you to come with me. Upatiane ID yako ndio mimi nianze job. Na nikaingia the following day. Wacha tupige kitu inaitwa merchandising. That's how I knew Nairobi. Today hakuna mahali, hakuna kichochoro Nairobi sijui.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ukiongea vichochoro, nataka kuspidisha kidogo ndio nifike hii kichochoro ya Westgate. Hiyo kichochoro uko unafanya nini ukifika Westgate?
By the way, Westgate has been like my favorite mall since even up to today. By the way, you'll almost always find me at Westgate.
Right.
So siniziara tu. In fact, that day I was going there for lunch with a friend of mine called Steve, and we were just driving in when we heard the first gunshot.
Okay.
Initially, we thought it was a robbery because you know Westgate has high-end shops.
Yes.
Mabanks, nini. Yeah. So wakati hiyo mlio ya risasi iliongezeka, now we were getting worried. You know, we were still sitting in the car. Right. So we felt like maybe these guys are trying to escape from hiyo side ya Peponi Road towards where Nakumatt UK used to be.
Right.
So Steve akatoroka. Yeye alienda rooftop. Alikuwa amebeba rafiki yake mwingine hapo nyuma, yeye akaingia basement. Right. Mi nikafikiria hii ni wezi tu anatoroka, so mi nikajificha tu hapo kando ya magari hapo. Bro, I'm telling you, when I saw that guy, he was wearing a light blue shirt, carrying an AK-47 and with bullets strapped around his body. That's when it hit me that, damn.
This is beyond the ordinary.
But now, ni Mungu tu. This guy aimed at me and I was like 4 meters away from where he is. And the bullet actually just grazed my head and hit the wall behind me. I was just, nimejificha tu kwa kaukuta hapo. Hit the wall. The ricochet is actually what hit me on the knee.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was
yani ni Mungu tu.
That time,
no, ilifika, I remember, I don't know whether I cried out loud but I remember when he fired that shot. I remember I just cried out to God and I was like, oh my God. Then everything went black. And you know, initially I was in a squatting position.
Yes.
So nikajiangusha chini. Right next to me there's a security guard. Unaona vile tumeketi na wewe? There was a security guard who was shot in the head right in front of me.
Yes. So
unajua ameanguka hapo. Na mimi niko hapa na tumeseparatiwa tu na kamaua about the size of this table. Yes. So I fell down na nikaka quietly hapo. So from the side of my eye, I could see the guy moving up. So they came in, 2 of them. One of them went to the basement and the other one went up where now they killed a lot of kids and it was nasty.
So you saw this security guy?
He was shot right in front of me. And he died on the spot.
Did life flash through your life?
Yeah, you know, it was like, you know, everything was happening so fast. You can't even tell what that was about. So I couldn't tell where I had been shot. And I couldn't tell whether I had been shot or not. So wakati, when the gunshots faded, you could hear now the screams from the rooftop and from the basement as they continue shooting people. That's when I heard somebody calling out from outside the mall, asking people to walk out of the mall with their hands raised up.
Right.
Later I learned it was help. Some help had arrived. But me nikanyamaza tu hapo because now I wasn't sure that somebody is tricking us to stoke tena tupigwe marisasi. So after I saw, unajua nimelala flat. Sasa I had a lot of mud on my face pale, nilikuwa nimelala, kulikuwa kumenyesha the previous night. So ndio nikaona watu wameanza kutomoka, hata wengine walikuwa bado ndani ya magari wanatoka wakiwa wameinua mikono wakitoka. That's when I decided to stand up.
Right.
But now getting up, I realized I had a lot of blood on my leg, and I had a very sharp pain cut through my leg.
Yes.
So again, when I saw the blood, I was like, probably it is blood that had been spilled from this guard who had been shot in front of me. But now standing up became a problem. All I was able to do, I remember we had left the car engine running. So I managed only to switch off the car. Hata sikuwa na time ya kuroll up windows.
Right.
Nikazima gari tu na nikachomoka na key. So I was now limping towards the gate. Kufika hapo ndio nikaona some guys who had arrived. They're amazing guys. God forever bless them. From the social league,
Right.
the Asian community. They have a very well coordinated social welfare system, security response nini.
Yes.
So kufika hapo, one of them approached me quickly, akaona vile nimeumia, so akanishikilia, akaniweka kwa gari yake. Today it is my best friend. His name is Nirav Shah. I met him 1 year later during the memorial.
Yes.
Because I could remember his face. After Westgate, you know, we never got to know each other. I'll also forever be grateful to MP Shah. Those guys, it's like they were waiting for something like that to happen. You have no idea the military precision with which they managed to attend to us. Nilifikishwa haraka haraka, nimekwa kwa wheelchair, nimekimbizwa hiyo trauma room, wakaangalia, wakanidunga sindano, the pain went down.
Yes.
They assessed the wound, wakai clean haraka haraka, nimepelekwa x-ray. I'm telling you, it was like computerized. The efficiency those guys showed us, I've never seen anything like that. And that really saved a lot of lives, because almost 80% of the victims from Westgate were taken to MP Shah.
Wow.
They were really strained
They were sorted
in
out.
terms of capacity.
Yeah,
But there's the
yeah.
team leader, a lady called Dr. Hadika Shah. God bless her forever. She was thorough, and she was on her feet the whole day and the whole night until the following morning. It was amazing. But I thank God. He has a reason why, for why he saved my life, because I was not any special than any of the people who lost their lives there. Yeah.
I'm trying to wonder, that trauma, I know, yes, all those happens. Did it affect how, like, when you go out to places, public places, how you perceive? How did you handle that?
It was very bad for me, especially loud sounds.
Yeah.
The worst that I know is it took me a very long time to be able to withstand the sound of a gunshot.
So hata hizi mabaruti watu utupa za asili.
Hizi za vitu za Diwali.
Balloon,
yeah. It was horrible. You know that hiyo risasi ilipiga hapa kwa kichwa, so hiyo, you know, if you hit a wall na ni mawe, hiyo sauti risasi inatoa. Bro, you don't know. It was like an explosion inside my head.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
No wonder you were thinking, have I been hit? What was that?
Yeah,
crazy?
you couldn't tell. You couldn't. Ni Mungu tu. So it took me a long time. And I remember one of the most traumatizing moments was like a few months after that. I was driving on Tomboya Street. Na nizo enzi Kanjo walikuwa wanakimbizana sana na hawkers. In fact, you have noticed under Governor Sonko imereduce, hujaona polisi wakifukuzana na hawkers huko hivyo.
Utajua kwa nini naongea hiyo story.
But you know, it used to be very nasty.
Yeah.
Especially huko Tomboya. So one day, luckily I was with a friend of mine just in the car. He was in the passenger seat.
Right.
And hapo nje a fire station, hawa mapolisi wakikimbizana na hawkers, one of them fired a shot.
Whoa.
Bro, I froze. Nilitetemeka, mwili ka stop completely.
Yes.
I couldn't drive, I couldn't do nothing, nikaanza kusweat. Nilisikia ni kama hiyo risasi, yani ni mimi nimepigwa. So rafiki yangu ndio ali notice that nime paralyze kind of. So ndio I parked in the middle of the road for a few minutes, ndio aka manage kwenda around. Nikakuja passenger seat, akatake over akani drive. Nilimwambia tu to drive, tukashika Limuru Road, hata sikumbuki tulipindukianga wapi. I recovered like an hour later, ndio nikarealize sijashutiwa. But much later now, over time.
You nowadays even relieve, does that moment come?
Yes, of course. Yes, it does actually. Especially, what really haunts me is, I don't know, why did this guy want to kill me? I don't know him. He doesn't know me. You know, those, to me, those are the important questions.
Yeah.
Like, he just found me in the mall. I don't know him. Here he is. He just picks a gun. He wants to shoot me. And he actually fired at me.
Yes. You straight.
Yes.
I'm trying to picture that thing. It's still running in my head.
It was untidy. Yeah, it was untidy. Vile hiyo risasi ilinimiss ni Mungu tu. Na vile nilijiangusha chini, I think he thought he had taken me out. So akaendelea tu. But I keep asking, like, why would you wake up
one day and
decide to load your gun and just go kill people?
Civilians.
Hivyo tu. Na hakuna kitu utapata. Hao watu wakikufa si ati kuna mali unawapeleka. Terrorism is really untidy.
To fight it to the most.
But I thank God that we have made tremendous progress as a country in terms of combating that. And people keep asking me, but I know Westgate never affected me as bad as one of the incidences. And this was the Garissa incident.
Hold that Garissa thought.
Yes.
I want to tell us about that when we come back after this break. This is Coffee with Mbuvi, story mechacha. I know you can't go anywhere. Toa batteries or remote in case kuna mtu anaweza kuja kuchange channel. We'll be right back.
Wajuao walisema kwamba jina jema hung'aa hata gizani.
Na vilevile wakasema bora ni bora iliyoboreshwa, na habari za TV47 zinazidi kuimarika kila kuchapo.
Tunasanzuka na kutamba ili kuhakikisha tunaweka bayana taarifa kemkem zenye usawa na mantiki.
Katika mida ya alasiri kabla ya jua kutua kutoka kaunti 001 na kupeperushia shina la upeo.
Na inapowadia saa 1 kamili,
Nachukua usukani kukufahamisha
na kukupeperushia taarifa ipasavyo.
tutakueleza ni kipi kilichojiri na wahusika ni wepi.
Ungana nasi kila siku ya wiki tukujuze, kwani usilolijua ni kama usiku wa giza.
If we had not gone into PPEs right now, we wouldn't be having this opportunity to tell the story of how equity helped the local sector. There's a lot more that we can do locally. Let's explore and let's see what we can do.
Equity. Bega kwa bega.
Wajuao walisema kwamba jina jema hung'aa hata gizani.
Na vilevile wakasema bora ni bora iliyoboreshwa, na habari za TV47 zinazidi kuimarika kila kuchapo.
Tunasanzuka na kutamba ili kuhakikisha tunaweka bayana taarifa kemkem zenye usawa na mantiki.
Katika mida ya alasiri kabla ya jua kutua kutoka kaunti 001 na kupeperushia shina la upeo.
Na inapowadia saa 1 kamili,
Nachukua usukani kukufahamisha
na kukupeperushia taarifa.
Welcome back to Coffee with Mbuvi. My name is Mbuvi na leo niko na Ben Mulwa, story tamu ametuambia juu ya Westgate na alikuwa anagusia kitu ka Garissa. Hebu gusia yako because we want to talk about that, about your presidential ambitions and what you're doing right now. Tell me about Garissa.
No, you know, Garissa I think came 2 years after Westgate, almost 2 years. And you know, Westgate, I think I got over it so fast. And I even went ahead to start providing support to most of our fellow victims.
Wow.
In terms of encouraging them, in terms of, it was amazing. We even later formed what we call TVSI, the Terror Victim Support Initiative.
Okay.
And it was teaming up with also psychiatrists, doctors. There are those who are going for their physio and psychosocial support.
Right.
And it was amazing. But now when Garissa came, for some reason it hit me in a way I never imagined.
How?
You know, after Westgate I don't remember even crying or thinking about it. But when news broke out about those kids being terrorized there, And then by the end of the day, the numbers started coming in that we had lost over 100 kids, school-going kids. Yeah. It hit me in a fashion I never imagined. I sat there imagining, you know, pictures even started circulating of how the kids were lying down on the floor and somebody just walking over each, shooting you in the head, in the head. And
these are kids.
Hiyo ilinigonga pali pabaya. I remember I cried and asking God, why would innocent kids like this go through that? And I think for me now that is the incident that really got me like a reality of what Westgate was. And it was painful, but it's been a journey. I've met a lot of survivors from Garissa, and I remember even meeting quite a number of kids who were later transferred to Moi University. Right. And I forever continue praying for them. It's not anything you'd wish even on your worst enemy. It's not. Yeah.
Are these some of the things that were making me feel like I need to get into the political front and change one or two things?
Absolutely. No, but I've realized it again. We can always make a difference from wherever we are.
Yes.
We always, at any one given time, there's always an opportunity to make a difference.
Right.
If you're just walking on the street and you are chewing gum, if you don't drop it on the floor or on the pavement, you have made a difference.
Wow, good.
Because garbage begins to pile up just by one person dropping chewing gum, then the next one maybe had a piece of paper from the bank or an ATM slip, another one had matatu receipt. Before you know it, we have a pile.
Yes.
So there is always a small way to make a difference.
Right.
The problem is we have given politics too much prominence at the expense of virtues and values.
Right. Is that why you wanted to?
Yes.
Tell me about that journey a little bit.
When I was in Form 3, at the top of Kemundu Hill, hapo tulikuwa mahali there used to be a very beautiful spring where water is flowing from the rocks.
Right.
And I remember sitting there with a friend of mine called Alex. He was in Form 4, I was in Form 3. And as we were, you know, it's an amazing view. From there you can see Mount Kilimanjaro. Over here you can see the plains all the way to the Yatta Plains that stretch to Mutito in Kitui County. Right. It's an amazing view from the top there. And I remember telling him that one day I'll be the president of this country. And he laughed. He thought it was a joke. Yes. When he found my name on the ballot, for Senate, Makueni, in 2013, he called me. He told me, you know, bro, I always thought you were joking, but now I realize you are serious.
Yeah. But what made you change from, because I remember the campaign was
I started off presidential.
Yes.
Now that's something one day I'll do an exclusive on this, or maybe even capture it in a book if God grants me the time.
Maybe this one and it's now.
You know, I was a member of the UDF party. And
what is UDF?
The United Democratic Forum.
Right.
This is a party that much later, you know, ignorance is bliss, bro.
Yes. What did you do much later?
Ignorance is bliss. See, me nimeona chama imetengenezwa. You know, I had started off my campaign, then now there is a new political party, then I decided to join the political party. And everything went well. Until I realized a couple of things later. One, UDF had been formed by the people who were running the country that time.
Okay.
At the front line is a gentleman called Professor Nick Wanjohi. He was one of the Kibaki's, I think he was Kibaki's private secretary. And there was also, you know, these people they call the system.
The system.
Sasa Mudavadi was in ODM.
Yes.
Then he insisted on they must go for the party primaries across all the 47 counties. So I think that was not agreeable to the party leader then, Raila. They insisted that primaries itafanyika Nairobi, Kasarani, one convention. So Mudavadi left ODM. And then he came and joined UDF. So we were excited, we welcomed him. And when he came to UDF, we told him that you also believe in democracy, and I know it's the same that you believe in. Yes. So we're also going to do party primaries in all the 47 counties.
Wow, smart, eh?
Yeah, kumbe hapo ndio mambo ilianza kuharibika. Kuna mambo mingi siwezi kutaka kusema, but yes. It reached a point it became risky and dangerous. And I remember that time the registrar of political parties, my name was actually removed from the roll, the register of the party members.
Wow.
So I had mobilized. Nilikuwa nilikuanga na mafans. So nimemobilize vijana twende tupige makelele hapo kwa registrar. So akaniambia, Mulwa, you know you're a young man. You're like my son. Yes. Lucy Ndungu was the registrar of political parties then. You're like my son. You have a long way to go. Don't start fighting these people. And I heeded her advice. So I called back my troops. Niko na team loyal. Mpaka leo. I called back my troops and we agreed, let's shelve this for now. Look for something else. So we agreed and we settled on running for Senate here in Nairobi.
Right.
Then I joined, because I'd been expunged from the register of UDF, I joined NAC, Mamangilu.
Right.
When I went there and we met, and she's been a very supportive and she's an amazing woman. We agreed I'm running for Nairobi Senate and she was running for Kitui Senate then. But now there came a challenge. When NAC teamed up with TNA and URP,
yes.
Then there was a lot of reorganization in terms of which party was filling which candidate were.
Oh my, okay.
Yeah,
yes.
So again, there were consultations. And Mamangilu told me it is not possible for her to fill me here in Nairobi as a Kamba. And TNA had picked my current boss, Governor Sonko,
right.
as the Senate candidate.
Right.
URP did not have a candidate.
Yes.
So it was a very last-minute decision actually to shift base to Makueni.
Right.
How I survived to make it to number 3 is still a miracle.
Congratulations, though.
Yeah, I was number 3 after 2 giants. In fact, my race was tougher than the presidential. I was running against the late Mutula and Mwau, the boss. Aaron Mwau. And
good job.
The late Mutula Kilonzo. Yes. Yeah, I was number 3, and it's been exciting. And after that reorganization, even our candidate in Nairobi, then now the current governor Nairobi, they came to campaign for me in Makueni, and it was amazing. Yeah, because now we were a team.
So that's why you guys kind of like hooked up.
Yes. Right. From around that time. Because after the presidential, my estimation was I wanted to run for Senate in Nairobi.
Right.
Yeah. But Sonko that time was a juggernaut, a political juggernaut here in Nairobi.
Yes.
And yeah, so he won with a landslide.
Yes.
And ever since, here we are.
And here you are.
And here.
And today we are at Governor Sonko's.
We are at Governor Sonko's private office.
And what do you do for him?
I work as his private secretary and also his spokesperson.
Yes.
And it is something that I'm very passionate about. I think it is one of the greatest honors I have ever been granted in my life.
Yes.
To work for the Nairobi governor. He is a huge personality on his own. Yes. And by being the governor of the largest county in this country by population and by economy. And Nairobi, is the heart of Kenya.
Yes.
All Kenyans from every corner of this country are here. So it has been an exciting journey, actually.
Yes. Is it adrenaline filled? Because
it is, because
today,
Nairobi never sleeps.
Yes.
So there's always something coming up at any one given minute.
Yes.
Hata saizi ati nafika Friday, you're like, oh, I want to go relax. Wapi? Unalipuka tena unaona kitu imetokea ingine now.
You're always on your toes.
Yes, and particularly, I think since December last year, it's been particularly challenging. Since the governor was arrested on allegations of corruption. The matter is still in court. And that changed a lot of dynamics because he was barred from going to his office. That's why most of the times we operate from his Upper Hill office here. And other times I have assignments at City Hall. And you see, there's been a lot of negative press on him. So my work has been perhaps beyond what ordinarily it should be, because there has been a lot of misinformation going around the media. There has been a lot of bad propaganda going around the media. But the one thing that I genuinely like about my boss, he's such a hands-on fella, you have no idea.
Really?
And he has his pulse on literally anything going on in this city.
Wow.
But most importantly, I don't think I've ever interacted with somebody who is so results-oriented like him. And that's why in under 2 years, Nairobi, from the dirty, filthy city that we inherited, he's been able to do projects that have never been done since independence. Like now we have 3 new fire stations. The last time Nairobi got a fire station was in 1907.
What? That
Yes,
is how many
ile
years
iko
ago?
pale Tomboya ni ya 1907.
13 years ago.
Yeah.
What?
He delivered 3 new fire stations. Alihurumia, unajua yeye ni mtetezi wa wanyonge. Alihurumia wamama vile wanakaa kwa matope. Sasa hata ukienda Muthura, even recently I saw a feature in the newspapers about how vendors suffer, especially during the rain season. He has built new markets. We have a new market in Mwariro. We have Karandini. We have the new Wakulima market. Personally, it is fulfilling. It's amazing. And you know, there's one of the reasons I ever dreamt of getting into leadership is to pursue justice. And my core assignment at the moment focuses so much on ensuring that people get accurate information.
Right.
I naturally have zero tolerance for any form of injustice. So by nature, I feel bad when I read lies in the newspapers or I watch lies on TV, yet the facts are very different. Nairobi has changed under Governor Sonko.
Right.
You go to Eastlands, places that had been neglected for 30, 40 years. He's done new roads with cycling lanes and clean drainage. And if you remember, in 2016, when Kidero was still governor, Nairobi used to flood even in the CBD.
Oh, wow.
Last year, 2019, the long rain started since October and they ran up to around April 2020. And there was not one single case of flooding in Nairobi. Because he has always been planning ahead. And he has been focusing on really what matters. So what we are seeing currently is a lot of bad politics. There are people who are definitely not happy with his performance. You know, initially they thought he can never deliver.
Yes.
Then he shocked everybody. And by any standards, if you look at some of the reports, like from the Office of the Control of the Budget, the Nairobi County government has way outperformed even the national government.
Wow.
Particularly on development. And despite the budgetary constraints, he was able to ensure that these resources were no longer being stolen, but going to do the actual work.
Right.
That, of course, rubbed the cartels the wrong way.
The wrong side.
There are people who have bought properties in this city from collecting money from City Hall for no work done. Tunakaa hivi vile tunakunywa tu kahawa na Mbuvi, tuko Java, tunachora invoice, tunapeleka City Hall. After 2 months, after 2 weeks, pesa imetumwa, tunagawana. For no work done.
Yes.
So that is one thing he killed completely. Yes. And of course there are people, unajua ni kama samaki walikuwa wamezoea kuswim hapo, alafu suddenly umefungulia maji yote imeenda. They're like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Unaona vile huwa zinaanza kuruka. So what you are witnessing currently ni samaki wale walibaki kwa mchanga. Maji ilifunguliwa ikaenda, sasa wakaambiwa wajipange. Kama watajifunza kukula nyasi sawa.
In a small nutshell, because I know time is not on our side.
Yes.
I just want you to just highlight what working, you've said what working here has exposed you to doing.
Yes.
What you intend to do with that, so that we see what we expect from Ben Mulwa in the future. In like a minute.
In like a minute.
Actually 30 seconds.
No, actually.
And then give me handles.
Yes.
And that's it.
I don't want to specifically say where I want to be maybe next time, but the one thing I know is this role has really opened up so much for me, and I look forward to continue serving Kenyans in the same or similar capacities.
Right.
It's made so much difference in my life.
Right.
And I hope that one day people will be able to appreciate the little role that I played alongside in supporting the governor to achieve his mandate. Despite the noise and the kelele and all that, I look through reports and I'm satisfied that we have been able to, and these are things that you can never erase in history.
Right.
As I told you, I studied mathematics. Now I'm doing communications.
Right.
And when I was in Kiemundu, I didn't even know, actually I wanted to be an architect when I was growing up.
Right.
So only God knows where.
Only God knows.
Yeah.
And now for people to follow you, tell them what your handles are so that they can keep following.
Everything about me is just Ben Mulwa. Facebook is Ben Mulwa. Twitter is at Ben Mulwa. Instagram is Ben Mulwa. What else?
Any other handle that you have?
Hata WhatsApp ni
Ni
Ben
Ben
Mulwa.
Mulwa.
Hata WhatsApp ni Ben Mulwa.
It's been fabulous today. Thank you for coming, Ben Mulwa.
Thank you so
Thank you
very
for
much.
us coming.
Yeah, thank you,
It's been
thank
a
you so
beautiful
much.
interview. We've enjoyed ourselves. A little different from what we normally do, and that's it. That's it about Coffee with Mbuvi.
Absolutely.
We'll meet whoever you want us to talk to and have a feel of who they are, how they pulsate. From us, we want to say good evening. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back next week with more scintillating show from Coffee with Mbuvi, Dr. Mbuvi. See you next week.